We have reached our destination for today. We are going to hike the #2 trail here in Cumberland Falls State Park in Whitley County, Kentucky. We're not going to hike the entire trail today. We're going to hike the part that's known as the Devil's Rock section. It's about 2-3 miles long, and it's pretty flat. It goes along the river, but there's some very pretty sights to see along the way here. And as you can see, we have a cherry tree blooming there in the background. Spring is here for sure. Well, let's get on down the trail a little ways and have a look around. Well, we've come down the trail and off the trail just a little bit to see this. This is a wet weather waterfall. We just had some rain last night. And it's a pretty little waterfall today. All right, well, trail's back over that way. There's my wife. Wave, say hello, Lisa. We're gonna head on down the trail. All right, we're moving on down the trail here. And I hear water up that way. I bet there's another waterfall up there. Let's go up there and have a look. All right, here's that waterfall I heard. Pretty decent little climb up off the trail, but definitely worth coming up here to look at. Guessing this one's probably a wet weather falls too. It's not. 200 feet from the other one. But they're both off the trail a little bit, so if you're here right after a rain, listen for them. You should be able to find them. Just look at this rock formation all around it. Wow, that's a huge crack in the rocks. Let's walk back in here a little bit. Wow, that just dead ends right there. That is amazing. Come back out. Looks like people have camped in there. But almost a perfect room. Man, this rock face is amazing. And the trail's back down that way. See that big rock right there in front of us? We're not too far from the trail. I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's Lisa down there again. So we're gonna head back down on the trail and continue moving up. Well, as we move along the trail here, all kinds of interesting stone formations. This is an absolutely beautiful trail. I don't know if you can see it down there or not, but we're walking just up from the Cumberland River. Very pretty walk. And there's a bridge up ahead of us, and I hear another waterfall. It's up here. Oh, maybe we can see it from the bridge. Let's see if we can. Well, not too good. So let's move up a little closer and get a better look at this waterfall. All right, there it is. This is our third waterfall on this trail, and we probably haven't gone a half a mile yet. Couldn't really see it from the bridge, but you can see it good from here. Lots of cool things to see along this trail so far already. And there's the bridge right down there. So you're not too far off the trail. Super easy to find, especially if you just listen. You can hear all these waterfalls from the trails. All right, well, let's get back down on the trail and keep exploring. Well, we haven't come very far up from that last waterfall, and I noticed this. Look at this rock formation. Looks like a face looking up into the sky. There's the eyes and the nose, and the crack there's the mouth. Looks like he's looking out over that way. Very neat. As you can see, the trail is a little rocky through here. It's been fairly level, a little up and down, but you best definitely watch your footing going through here. Well, there goes the trail. Let's follow it. All right, well, we've come to the intersection of Trail 5 with Trail 2 here. And as you can see, Trail 5 goes up to the campground, DuPont Lodge, and some cabins. And if you'll look, if you can see them up there in the trees, but I think you can, there's a set of wooden steps coming down that cliff. That would not be a lot of fun to climb, and I would say that would probably be kind of scary too. Well, luckily, we're not going that way. We're going this way. And as you can see through the trees, we're still walking next to the river. We'll be this way probably the whole time on this trail. All right, well, let's move on along. The path finally got close enough to the river where we could get out and get a good view of it. There you go, folks, the Cumberland River. That is looking north toward Williamsburg. Way down in the distance, if you look, you can see the Gatliff Bridge, and that is going down toward the falls. It's early spring here, and the trees are just starting to come out. You can see a little bit of color in them. It rained last night and the river's up, you can sure tell it. All right, well, we're gonna get back on the trail and see what we can see. Well, as you can see, the further we go on this trail, the less fancy the bridges get. Now it's kind of going uphill. Looks like we're gonna have to go up and around here. Looks like part of the trail might have washed out up here. Let's go on up here and investigate. If you'll look up there in the trees, you will see some surveyor's tape. That is the new makeshift trail going around this washout right here. So I'm gonna head back up there where the surveyor's tape is. You could get through there, but it's kind of dangerous, so I highly recommend you use the new trail that they've made to go up and around this washout. I'm going to head back that way and walk around. All right, here's waterfall number 4. This one's a pretty good ways down the trail from the other 3. And we had definitely had to do some bushwhacking to get up here to this one. You can hear it from the trail, but man, it's a good ways out. That is an amazing rock shelf behind it there too. Look at those rocks. You can see where the water's worked on them for years and years and eons and eons. Now, as you look back down through here, all that tangled mess of fallen trees and mountain laurel and everything else is what we bushwhacked our way through to get up here. So, trail's down there a little ways. All right, here's a little concrete marker right next to the trail. This is where the state park ends. We're leaving the park and headed into the Daniel Boone National Forest. Come upon this tree right here. Man, that thing's huge and hollow. I'll bet I could fit in there. All right, well, hang on here a second and let me see if I can get in there. Well, I was right. I fit. This is a big old tree. And luckily, I'm the only thing in here. All right, well, guess I better get out of here so we can get on along. Well, we've come to another creek crossing, and it appears that we're missing a bridge here. That is pretty deep right there. But luckily, we can go down here and ford it at a little shallower depth. I hear water up the creek here. We'll go up here and investigate that once we get across here. All right, we're gonna go down here and cross, and we'll see you guys on the other side. All right, we made it across the creek, and I came up off the trail a little bit. This is what we're hearing. I don't know if you'd count this as a waterfall, but I will. It's pretty. It's a lot smaller than the other ones, but we'll say this is waterfall number 5. And we crossed right down there a little ways. A little more difficult than we thought it would be. Boy, it's muddy down there. Come out this way right after a train, be careful. One more look at this pretty little cascade, and we're gonna head on out of here. Well, look here, not just off that waterfall. Here are signs of beaver. Now, you can tell it's been a while since they've been here, but they were definitely working on these trees here. And further, getting close to the end, I think, of where we're going today. But here is waterfall number 6. I know they call this Devil's Rock trail, but man, they ought to call it Waterfall Trail, I think. 6 of them today. I'm sure most of these only exist in wet weather, but they are really pretty and definitely worth seeing. And this one's just a couple of steps off the trail. You can see it from the trail. We just moved up a little closer to get a better view. All right, well, we've come up a good ways up off the trail. I heard this water and I thought, well, this has to be a huge waterfall. Well, it's not, but it's pretty enough. And on the way up here though, I came through this huge rock house. And you can see the stream running right down beside it. That is absolutely beautiful. That is back toward the trail. We're gonna walk back that way. There's a huge hole in the rock I'm gonna show you on the way back out. All right, we're out the other end of that big old rock shelf, and there's a huge hole that goes back in that rock. That's probably 10 feet off the ground up there. I ain't gonna try to climb up in that. But it's black, it almost looks like there's been a fire in there. Very interesting. All right, well, we gotta make our way back down the hill there. You can see Lisa standing on the trail. We're gonna make our way back down the hill. I'll meet you guys down on the trail. Well, we have reached the intersection of where trail number 2 heads up and goes to Highway 90. It's about another 1.5 miles up the hill there. It takes you to the road that brings you into Cumberland Falls. We've already walked about 3 miles, so we're not gonna go that way. Now, if you took all of Trail 2, it would take you up to the highway, cross the highway, and bring you all the way back around by Cumberland Falls. I believe it's 7 or 8 miles round trip. We're not gonna do that today. This section is known as the Devil's Rock section. Now, I don't know which one of those formations was Devil's Rock. They weren't marked. There was a lot of interesting formations on the way, though, so any of them could have been. I really enjoyed the waterfalls. I hope you guys enjoyed today's adventure, and let's go take a look at the river one more time since we've walked by it this whole time, and we'll finish up over there. One last look at the mighty Cumberland River. The trail follows this river all the way. There's not a time you can't see it from the trail. Very pretty walk today. I hope you guys enjoyed today's adventure. If you did, be sure to give us a like and a share, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for coming along today, and we'll see you guys next time.